Hi, everybody. This is Beyond the Cycle, brought to you by Cycle Sisters. I'm Raven, registered nurse. This is.
I'm Virginia. I'm a certified nursing assistant, and
I'm Camry, a medical assistant.
Okay. And so we're just going to talk about some things that made us make this business and why it's important for us to bring menstruation health to the communities that we serve. I live in LA, so I feel like it's a big community to cover for undeserving little girls who don't get the experience or the exposure to talk about menstruation health. Virginia lives in the Valley, and Cam lives in Santa Clarita. So we have a big area that we feel we could target for young girls that could help them to make them know that their period is normal. Um, my background, I have been a pediatric nurse for 10 or so years now. I've worked with home health, I did clinics, urgent care. I recently graduated from RN school, or nursing school, and I plan to pursue pediatric nursing. And girls just don't know about their periods. When you talk about the girls, or when you talk about periods, everybody thinks it's taboo, or they don't know how to calculate their periods. So this is going to be where we come in and we teach girls what to do. So pass it off to you. Why do you think we're doing this? What's so important?
I originally came up with the idea and I brought it to these two to see what they thought about it. I originally came up with the idea, one, because I do have a 12-year-old, and we were basically taught things differently compared to what my mom taught me when I was around that age and to what I taught her. I feel like I was more open with her and gave her more, I guess, options. And now there's, yes, and make her comfortable. And now there's so many things that she can look at. She can watch videos on YouTube about it. She can read books. People are talking about it on TikTok, Instagram, and things like that, all on social media. So it's a broad spectrum of her to be able to learn things on top of what I taught her. And she also have friends that come over, and I also had to teach them things that their parents didn't teach them that I feel that they should have known already. Right. So I think it was a great idea. I brought it to these two, and they were like, yeah. Let's do it.
well, for me, as far as my background, I'm a certified nursing assistant. So working in a community hospital, I'm what they call a floater or a traveler. So meaning whichever unit needs a nursing attendant the most, they'll send me there. And I get to have a lot of experience working with younger people, older people, people right in the middle, women, men, so on and so forth. And I get to have a wide variety of experiences from a unit such as the emergency room to labor and delivery to psych and to the fourth floor, which is a pediatric floor. And having that background has made me understand that it is such a highlight for me to be able to give this care to others when they're the most vulnerable. And I feel like that's a very essential quality for me to have in this new business that we're trying to start, Cycle Sisters Academy, where I could use that particular skill that I'm trying to obtain and in a way just master to be able to bring that to the younger generation that are going through all these things that we had already gone through. And since it's more normalized, there's more information out there, there's more that we can offer to them.
Right.
So as far as like, what are we going to be teaching the girls as far as like periods? Because I was 9 when I started. So I started at a school, had no idea what was going on. I didn't even tell my mom. So I'm glad that we're targeting like the younger, because I feel like my mom didn't talk to me about it because she wasn't six. She was 16 when she started. So there's nothing to talk to a 9-year-old about for their periods. So I'm glad that we're targeting a younger age. So what are we going to do that's going to interest them and not let them think it's nasty? Like, I have 2 daughters, but my daughter is 3 and 9 months. So this is not something I'm going to be like teaching them yet, but I want to know, how are we going to target 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds? Because it's not a sex ed. We're not teaching anybody about sex. That's not what we're doing. So what are we going to do?
So our workshop through Cycle Sisters Academy is for ages 8 through 15 predominantly, but if older kids do want to come, maybe they just started and they didn't get the talk yet about products, what to do, signs, symptoms, and things like that, they're more than welcome to come. It's not 15 is the cutoff. Right. You know what I mean? In our class, we do talk about the anatomy of the body, different products to use, what to expect, like signs and symptoms such as PMS, being moody, cramping, what to do, like what types of tea to drink, holistic remedies, things like that. Because like Raven was stating, a lot of these girls never got the opportunity to learn these things. Right. Like her mom, you know, her mom started off late. Raven started way younger than her mom, so it's different in every household. Yeah. Okay, so part of our workshop are the things that we'll be doing is our hands-on session. So in the hands-on session, we'll be teaching, we'll actually be showing all of the participants about 6 different types of products that they can use during their menstrual cycle, such as period panties, tampons, pads, what else? Menstrual cups, menstrual dips.
Show them the techniques to use. Because I also feel like when girls are on their period, they feel like they're limited to things that they could wear. So we want them to know that they're not. So just showing them like the different type of Spanx that they could wear. If they want to wear a skirt, they want to wear a dress or shorts, just different type of Spanx they could wear. We could teach them, we will be teaching them how to carry their little period bags, which has extra panties, the wipes, the pads, the tampons. Our special guest is agreeing. And it'll all be like age appropriate. So we'll actually, if they don't understand, we'll have like some, loaner panties. No one will be doing it, but just showing them actually how to do it, the side to put it on, the correct way to put it on, and then also how often to change it. I think that's also an important thing to talk about with.
A lot of girls don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. You're told to change it. Even if you're not going to the bathroom every 1 to 2 hours, you should still be changing your pad. You don't want to have, blood on you.
In there, yeah.
You have blood and sweat, and it helps with your odor. We could teach them about odor eliminating things to do, the different soaps to be using, and what not to use. Stray away from all the scented soaps down there, ladies.
Right.
I feel like an important thing as well for us to mention is not only with the products, but the products coming in different sizes depending on the flow. Yes, because that is such a thing that like almost nobody talks about, nobody knows about. I know when I got my period, like I had no idea how to navigate the different sizing in like pads and in tampons, and I would always stain anything I wore. Yes. So I felt very, very limited to what I can wear. And even as far as like when I would go out, I would try to limit me going out because the amount of times I had leaked through my clothing at school or the grocery store, it was just so embarrassing. Right. I didn't want to leave bed. Right. So teaching all these workshops is just going to be so helpful to the younger generation. I feel like aside from all that too, we're also going to be introducing or talking about things on how to navigate through the period cramps and with holistic things such as teas. There's even soups that you could make for yourself that'll be able to not help with the cramping and the flow, but just have it be a comfort food. The heating pads, there's so many things out there for you to do that you're not limited anymore. Right. I feel like back then, for me, I just had to learn the hard way. I had to go through the embarrassing moments and be like, okay, I'm never doing that again. Right. And then going with these workshops, we're honestly just eliminating that. We're eliminating those embarrassment exactly for the younger generation.
Right. Not only is this class for ages 8 through 15, this class is also for parents because there is single dads out there. There are moms that weren't able to get the information that we're giving. Sometimes grandparents have custody of the children or even new foster parents. This may be their first girl that they had and they didn't know how to navigate everything that we're talking about, such as products, what to eat, that it is okay to exercise, but what type of exercises to do, what types of soaps to use, not to use, and things like that. So
Because
it's for
exercising
everyone.
minimizes your cramps.
Yes, it does. So it's always good for the parents to come in and participate as well, to listen in. We have pamphlets for them as well as the participants as well, so they know what to do when they get home. Extra information for them to read over, just in case they forget what they learned.
And it's easier to talk to other people about your problems as a child than it is for your parent. Because I remember, I mean, I didn't want to talk to my mom. I was like so embarrassed about it because I'm like, oh my God, this is my mom. Now I'm talking to her about my vagina bleeding. I don't want to talk to her about that. So I feel like when the parents come, they'll see the information we're giving their kids and they'll know how to follow up rather than them just only being the only information line for their kids. And kids listen to other people more than their parents anyway. So I think that's also why I feel like it's so important because we're able to help parents where they feel like they're lacking or where they think they will lack later on.
Right, because it can be informational. Your child doesn't have to start their period yet. This can be an informational session for them, and then once they do start, they can come back.
Or it could just get the conversation going because me starting so early, I now have to start this conversation with my daughters when they are in third and fourth grade. And how is that conversation going to go with an 8 and 9 year old? But for me, it was my reality. So even if it doesn't happen, they'll know what to expect because our girls aren't always going to be with us. So what if they are at school, at the park, anywhere, their friend's
with a
house,
family member.
with a family member, and they start their period and they don't know what to do? Other parents are going to be like, call your mom. They're not going to want to get involved. So I feel like even if you're not on your period, you haven't started, just having the information and at a certain age is when they should just be carrying it in their backpack because you never know. If my mom knew I was going to start so early, I would have had my little period kit that we're going to be supplying the girls with in
The
my
blossom
backpack.
kits. We call them blossom kits.
We're going to have their blossom kits. We're going to have the period wipes, the pads, the extra panties, and also some extra clothes. Because you just never know. Your period,
leggings can fit in there perfectly fine.
Anywhere, and your period fluctuate. It's gonna change. It's never gonna stay the same forever. You can be a regular size today and an extra large the next cycle or overnight pads. So I think that's going to be really important. Like Virginia said, is teaching everybody the sizes of pads. That's really important to not have leakage.
Yeah. Honestly, the most recent experience I had with this was with my youngest sister. She's 11 now, and just recently she stayed over at my house, and she has her period, and she didn't have anything with her. She didn't understand that I was letting her know that, like, first of all, it's okay that you have your period. Like, it's not a big deal. I'm a woman too. I have my own things, and I was just trying to explain to her, like, okay, like, let's go and get you the things that you need. Let's go get you the supplies that you need, especially because when I dropped her off at school, she had nothing. So she had to call me midday and just ask me for certain things. And it made me realize that just having those period kits that we're trying to introduce, just keeping in her book bag is essential. Like, she could always have that, whether she's on her period or not, whether she remembers or not, it's there.
It's not embarrassing.
Exactly. It's not embarrassing. It's so normalized now. And me letting her know that, okay, well, let's get you the things that fit you correctly. The site, like, let's talk about your flow, let's talk about this, let's talk about that.
So then she doesn't have to experience what you did when you were younger. Right. She'll just already have the correct size.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's why we're all with women, and women are embarrassed of our periods as we get older because of all the embarrassment that we face younger. You know, having your period early, being the only one maybe in your friend group, and having accidents, getting up in that spot being on, and then you having to call your mom. Is just, if you have that, you have your things. That's why I feel like it's important to even inform them when you're on your period, which is what I do even to this day. Is if I'm on my period, I wear Spanx, the little tight pants, and they're black. So if I do happen to go through my underwear, I'm always protected, and I could just change my underwear and my Spanx, and I don't have to go through that embarrassment. And learning that at 15 is going to do so much better for when people are in their 20s, and they could always pull from like, oh well, I learned that from Cycle Sisters. Yes, you did.
Right.
Yeah, yes, you
Right. Okay. That's a lot of good information we're going to be giving
did.
everybody.
So that's gonna wrap up our podcast for today. Come back and you'll learn more.
Thank you for viewing.
Thank you for watching.
Say bye.